This is Shaquille.
This is Mark O'Neal.
This is Miles.
This is Keenan Womack.
Hello, this is Makai. Welcome back to the show.
I am hip-hop.
I am hip-hop.
Hey DJ, just play that song, keep on scratching all night. Hey DJ, just play that song, you have me itching all night.
For the next 10 weeks, we will discuss a different element of hip-hop culture. Those elements being the DJ, the MC, breaking, graffiti art, street knowledge, beatboxing, street fashion, street language, and street entrepreneurialism. For the first time, we will bring experts to discuss and define each element of hip-hop culture. I want to go back to when you were at Parsons. You graduated on the top 5% of your class, and when you were there, what made you come up with your first entrepreneurial idea? Was Mecca your first idea for a company? Okay, so what made you come up with that, man?
It wasn't difficult at all, and I say it like that because not from a cocky perspective, but I was blessed, man. It's like saying to a kid that works at an ice cream store that comes up, I've been working doing ice cream, let's just say I worked at Haagen-Dazs for 1 million years.
Right.
I mean, it won't be too hard, come up with Breyers or whatever other companies it is. I worked there for 1 million years, so, I've been around the product. I've been around, that international news, man. Come on, I learned everything from those people.
That's right.
They taught me product development, product merchandising. Michael Lesko was he was an ex-designer from Britannia.
Yeah.
He started Aka Joe's, which was Acapulco Joe originally.
Mm-hmm.
I was around Derek Fetterman, who started Bum Equipment, and Dave Corey. I was around a bunch of greats. Jerry Cosby, who started Motto. I mean, Seattle was the sportswear capital of America.
Right.
All the sportswear brands, again, from Steve Miska to Genera. I was around all those people. Mel Matsui, Code Blue. I was downtown. I mean, come on, the Shah Safari.
That's right.
I mean, it's one of those things, if you live in that house, I'm pretty sure you're going to build a house that looks similar to that.
Yes.
So I was fortunate, I got an education really fast from retail to wholesale. I mean, I was very fortunate.
Yeah.
And so with that, to be able to come up with Mecca, I'm not going to say it was easy, but it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm just some brain surgeon. No, not at all.
Right.
I'm not trying to deduce myself, but at the same time, like I said, I was around it. So how about this? It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah, so it was
our
kind
success, our success and how we did it and the way we went about it. Yeah, I'll take credit for that because we took a fashion label, and my goal was to treat a fashion label because I was in New York and I worked in the music business with all these different people. I said, you know what? I'm going to market a fashion company like it's a record label.
Right.
And that's where we made a difference. And that's why I started doing advertising like a record label. I treated the fashion company like a record label because I felt like the consumer I was dealing with was a music record industry label kid / it wasn't couture fashion. This wasn't JCPenney's.
Yeah.
This was street fashion. These kids just, I put fashion ads in magazines like The Source for the first time. I was one of the first people to advertise a fashion brand in The Source magazine.
Right.
People didn't do that. They only advertised record label things for the Source magazine or music magazine.
Yeah.
I brought fashion to music magazines. Not completely, but, I was one of the pioneers in that area.
And so, as you had the success for Mecca, and then you came up with your next fashion line, and what made you make that transition to Aniche?
Well, let me get some of the facts straight.
Okay.
I did Mecca. Mecca was a project after I got out of school. I sat down with my friend Evan Davis, New Yorker, that worked at International News, the New York office.
Right.
That's when I got there. He was the one that kind of put me on at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the one that showed me the ropes in New York. Jewish dude, real cool cat. And then I got together. Londo was my roommate. Londo Felix was my roommate. So with that, Londo was from Seattle, O'Day graduate, St. Teresa graduate, smart dude, superstar. So Londo was my roommate. So I started Mecca. It was like, come on, Londo. Londo's like, I'm going to help you out, but I'm not gonna work with you.
Right.
And I said, fine. no problem. And I said, with that, wow, this is the craziest thing. I said, with that, as I was doing that, Londo was like, okay, cool, Tone. No problem, I'll help you out. So come to find out, Londo helped me out, and the project was originally, when I say it started, was originally started by myself, Londo, and a guy named Evan Davis. So Londo, Felix, Evan Davis, and myself.
Right.
So I don't take complete credit from it. Was it like a brainchild I was going to do one thing or another by myself? Of course. But, like I said, I don't believe, we can all talk about what could have, should have, would have, or would have been. But at the end of the day, it started because of those guys.
Right.
And now with that, from there, we decided, you know what? Things are hectic. We're gonna leave and start a company called Aniche. And that was because we trademarked NYC. And that came from Londo.
Wow.
Londo Felix, which is my partner, came up with the name Aniche.
How's Londo doing, too? Tell Londo I said what's up.
Yeah, of course. No doubt. He's still running Aniche, and they just started a new project called Reserve.
Oh, okay.
So they're doing good. Yeah, so big up to those guys. Shout out to Aniche and Reserve.
And so you've been designing all your life and in the fashion industry all your life, but also, too, you've been learning entrepreneurialism and business. What do you think you are more of, an entrepreneur or a lifestyle designer?
I'm a lifestyle designer / entrepreneur. I think I'm an entrepreneur first. I should say that because no matter what I do, I'll make lemonade out of lemon. I'll sell sand to the Arabs, ice to the Eskimos, you name it.
Right.
I'm a hustler, entrepreneur spirit. My job is to have fun, live life, enjoy it, and through the grace of God, I just try to stay blessed.
Yeah.
And so with that spirit, entrepreneurship is just. I'm a business person, so I'm always gonna hustle. I'm always gonna start a business.
Right.
If you and me, Keith, you know how it goes down. If you and me were standing in the street, and we happen to come up on like 25 grocery carts.
Right.
We try to figure out how to start a grocery delivering business, you and me.
That's
you
right.
know that.
That's right.
That's what we do. We be renting carts out for $1 a day.
That's right.
Know?
Yep.
That's what we do. So, I definitely have the entrepreneur spirit. And I definitely say, if you were to ask me, I definitely say I'm an entrepreneur / lifestyle guy. So,
what would you say to people that say hip-hop is a negative influence?
I would say that's the same thing they said about rock and roll. That's the same thing they said about jazz when that was coming about.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, there's two sides to each coin, so I'm not going to say there's negative pieces to hip-hop. Then again, there's positive pieces, so I guess hip-hop's a bad thing since, there's Def Jam, all these labels and all these jobs. Then day it's a $45 billion industry?
Right.
Something to that nature, so sounds like a pretty bad thing, and that's just the numbers. Not alone all the jobs that it's created and all the families that it's fed and everything else. So, I don't know, it seems like a pretty positive thing. And if hip-hop is so negative, then why is there such a heavy influence in mainstream America today?
Right.
So, I don't know. I just go based off the facts.
You know
I can
what?
be opinionated about it, but if you want to pull up the numbers, go ahead and pull them up.
That's the numbers. They tell it. They don't never lie.
The numbers don't lie.
You know what, Tony? You had a really interesting story, and I've got about 2 minutes, but how did you come up with your latest brand? You told me about that when we were in Atlanta. Yeah.
Hey, man. We were sitting there with PARISH. We came up with PARISH. We were sitting there chilling, myself, Evan, and we were just hanging out. We said, you know what? Evan was working. Evan had this crazy, huge contract for Echo Consulting, and I was actually just playing golf. I just left the Nikkei. I was playing golf, and I was consulting another project that'll be out pretty soon.
Yo, this is Big Daddy Kane. This is Big Gregory. This is Cheyenne Salah.
This is Dr. Maxine Mims.
This is Elmer Dixon. Yes, y'all, this is Melly Bell.
This is the Indigenous Flag Girl.
Yo, this is Johnny Houston. This is Big M1, one half of Dan Fred. This is Opio. This is Paradise. This is QD3.
This is Girl Miss Chrissy.
This is Tony Muhammad. Yo, this is KRS-One, and you're checking out the Keith Tucker Show.